And it's called a dog star. And everything is spiritual. You cannot leave nothing out. It was named Pluto in the 1930s or the 1940s by what? One of the daughters of one of the animators at the Disney Corporation. They gave him Pluto, the dog. And so one of the daughters named the cartoon character Pluto, and the astronomical observatory named Pluto after that, thus still making it a dog star. See what I'm saying? Sirius, Osiris, Orion, Osiris, Pluto, Harvest, Eye Harvest, Pineal Plant. Everything is a ritual. Everything is everything. See what I'm saying? You see. Now, to say, for them to rename it Pluto, or rename Pluto at this time, that means that your third eye or the pineal gland is the subject at this time. Okay? Our Lord goes down earlier 26,000 years. So was the Mayan calendar. Now just follow me on this. If all of these calendars are gone, hell, Dogon had one in 1990. No, yeah, 1990 that went out. They had a group of people that most calendars, some of the oldest calendars, went out of existence or stopped recording time in 1994. So if we understand that the Gregorian calendar is at least 10 years behind, based on the calculations we got it last summer before the Katrina, that the last year was 2011 in 2005, and that the next year, based on calculations, wasn't going to ask me about Tam-Tam. He was the one that broke the calculation that 2012 is 2006. Well, is it interesting that every 26,000 years, our sun rotates around a bigger sun, and it's called a great year, which is the star Sirius. And then 26,000 years is the end of the Mayan calendar, and this year, they downgraded Pluto, which would be the son of Sirius, the other Pluto dog, and Pluto is the pineal gland. So we're talking about this whole Mayan thing is happening now because there is no such thing as space and time. And anytime somebody gives you dates in a time when calendars have been defunct for at least 10 to 15 years, that means if they give you an estimated date, they can eliminate the time between this time and this time. The time in between, they can eliminate all that from your mind. And this is how they use your mind control. Maybe you look at an estimated goal and the time is now, but you think it's in the future. It's not. Why is it not? We're thinking about it now. The gatherings are now. See what I'm saying? Now, I'm telling you, it's such a great day to be amongst the people, and I'm telling you right now, it's not by mistake that we're all in this room together. But you've got to start looking at each person as students, and you can't look to no God higher than yourself. Because the moment you start looking at this thing as being a part of you special, then it's going to start opening up. When the Jesus in the scriptures become yourself, then you got it. You see what I'm saying? Then you got it. And when you find out that half that Jesus material is feminine, then you got it. We'll go into some of that type of stuff. Isn't it interesting that Jesus was hung up on the cross and left the dead and rose on the third day? If you go to Samaria, they got the goddess Ishtar, ascended into hell, hung up on a hook, left the dead and rose on the third day. It was a feminine story before it was a masculine story. See how these things go? You see, so my point here is try to understand the way spirit works. We're talking about countries. And although I've been at work all over the continent of the United States for the last 15 years, but the mere fact we are here now, Canada is as north as you can go. You can go higher up in Canada, but as far as the country aspect, the highest country that you can actually go as a functional country is Canada in the Western Hemisphere. You understand? You might say Alaska or something, give or take. But what I'm trying to say here is this is further north. You see what I'm saying? Than South America, than Florida. You understand where I'm coming from here? So we're talking about it. You look at the concept here. Follow me on this. You all right? If you look at the concept of why I'm here and why it took me a couple of months to get here and we have this gathering, and I always know when I go to new places, it's something spiritual because there's a certain amount of people that's got to do a certain amount of things because these particular people are very special people. And what I mean by that is, don't let nobody fool you. I want to show you something here. 1 minute. Whenever, usually, the government knows they can look and survey a certain talent of a certain people. Certain things that you might do every day, you might think is normal. 1 or 2 people might do something out of the ordinary. It might be insane. Might be something insane, something extremely simple. But it's something that the government has studied enough. Or in this particular case, I don't want to say the government, I use that in America. The power of that be because this thing here is global. You see what I'm saying? We talking about this one world government. That they understand that certain people in certain geographical locations have a certain amount of energy. And it's not by mistake. You just been thinking of it as we just everyday folks. But it's not. You see what I'm saying? The reason why the whole Canada thing is coming up, because if you look at the structure of the body and understand that you got the root chakra, and further north you go into the pineal gland, then you will understand that that also could be a basic geographical breakdown of what type of people we dealing with and what type of people we dealing with at a certain time. And so therefore the people in this room, it's very important that you understand at this particular time that your time out for following people and looking for certain messiahs and stuff outside of yourself is over because you are needed to be those particular people, a certain spot. You see what I'm coming from here? And that's what time it is. It's a very spiritual time. And don't think that we're just sitting up in a meeting, having this meeting, just for the simple fact of just trying to learn some ancient wisdom so we can be proud. No, this is some shit that's going down, and it's the strange stuff that's going down is the why the government is on the accord of on the same aspect of trying to track certain things based on your DNA and got certain wards for distraction and certain wards that they can't get up out of. You see what I'm saying? And don't let nobody fool you. The reason why I say American government is because, believe it or not, you didn't know this, but American government was always an extension of Britain. And that was a hoax too. You see, if you want to put people on the experience, well, see, we talk about, well, all this, see, I tell you how that goes too. Britain, try to understand this about Israel. Israel is the priesthood of Britain. You got to understand how they do that. Ask for So how did a group of no-teeth hillbillies with no shoes on in the United States beat the British government? That's an impossibility. The whole war was staged to establish a colony of Britain. It's never been anything with Britain. The United States said this is all nothing but a colony of Britain. If it's the United States government, if it's a separate government, why is the laws, the actual laws that we govern ourselves under on the law system, is patented by Britain? How the heck you going to be a separate country and the basic foundation of your law is British?
That's clean up itself.
Huh? Exactly, well, we know this is British. But the point I'm trying to make here is there was never no revolutionary war. It was always an extension of Britain. And for the mere fact that they wanted to put together a democracy. It was a part of the British esoteric societies. The democracy has the word demon in it. But it ain't that old Christian negative shit like you think. Because you always throw off with this good demon like there's a devil up under the fire. The demon means the soul. The Athos demon. Good demon. You ever heard of the Athos demon? That's a good demon. The demon Lucifer means the soul. Satan just means man in the physical body. That's the third thing. I see you all wrapped up in religion. You've been hearing certain things, and you don't understand they have origins. And you've got to break down the religious dogma to understand that the priests that first set that dogma up, they would give the people, the neophytes, they give the common people a little mythology so that they can govern by based on morality. So that would be the actual part of the morality would be a part of their right to pastors. They needed those morals to live by. But the priests didn't follow that stupid stuff with some devil up under the ground, what's going on. They knew it was on a much more esoteric level. So, devil would say, Satan is bound for 1,000 years. How do you bind a God? You bind a God by putting him into a physical body. So, the Satan, or the Titans, teaching Satan Titan. You see what I'm saying? Jeremiah says that is a natural Genesis 1888, Titan, Satan, also in the book, in the other book, the two Babylons. But Titan, and what happened? The Titans were a group of instances that ruled before this creation of man, and they were defeated in the heavens, and their blood was wet, and their bodies was burnt to ashes, and then what? Turned into human beings. So Satan was cast out of heaven. You see what I'm saying? And bound for 1,000 years. You understand what I'm saying? Satan means man in the physical. You are the Satan. Has nothing to do with some evil thing. The evil part of life is all not physical. It was bound. The word sin means restriction. You are restricted by a physical body. You are God that's doing time on planet Earth in a physical body that restricts you into thinking that you are who you really are. You are God that's doing time on planet Earth in a physical body that restricts you into thinking that you are who you really are. You have nothing to do with who you really are. You never incarnated on the earth at all. You never incarnated. You have nothing to do with who you really are. You never incarnated on the earth at all. You never incarnated. That's some mind-boggling shit. That you have never incarnated on the earth. The only thing that's been on the earth has been the false you. And you think that you are actual reality when you're nothing but a group, nothing but a group. And you know what? You love Now, I had the pleasure in 2002, October the 16th, 2002, big day in India for the God's Black community. Day in South America and also in Puerto Rico, what God called El Cristo Negro, the black crucified Christ. Puerto Ricans and all of that. And it's also a big day for the god Awad, who was the one that Dallas Falling contacted in 1904, which was the fall of Horus.